Picatrix, Book 1, Chapter 5. An image to cause cities to grow and make them prosper. Make an image with the ascendant and the 10th house and their lords fortunate, with the fortunes aspecting them. Make fortunate the lord of the 2nd house and the lord of the 8th house, and make fortunate the lord of the ascendant, having him aspecting a fortune. Also, make fortunate the lord of the house of the lord of the ascendant, the moon, and the lord of the house of the moon. When the image is made as described, bury it in the middle of the city, and it shall be as you wish. An image to gain the love of another, make 2 images. Make the first in the hour of Jupiter, with Virgo rising and the waxing moon in the ascendant, 4th, 7th, or 10th houses. Make the second image in the hour of Venus, when Venus is aspecting Jupiter, and the malefics are cadent from the ascendant. Make the ascendant of the second image the 7th house cusp of the first image, and make the lord of the ascendant of the first image apply to the lord of the ascendant of the second image with a trine or sextile aspect. When these images have been made in this manner, bind them together, embracing each other, and bury them in the place where you wish to gain love and delight. An image for the destruction of an enemy. Make an image in the form and likeness of the one to whom you wish evil in the hour of Mars with the moon in Scorpio. If you can, make the ascendant unfortunate by placing an infortune in the ascendant or forming a bad aspect to the ascendant. Put the infortune in aspect with the lord of the ascendant and make unfortunate the lord of the ascendant and the lord of the 4th house. Make them aspect each other, or make unfortunate the lord of the ascendant in the 4th house, or have it received by a malefic in the 4th house or the ascendant. When the image is made, bury it head downwards outside the city in which your enemy lives, and it shall be as you wish. An image for the destruction of a city. Make an image in the hour of Saturn, an infortune, when the ascendant of the city is rising, with an infortune in the ascendant, and as the lord of the ascendant and the lord of the house of the lord of the ascendant as well. Keep the fortunes from the ascendant, the lord of the ascendant, and the lord of the triplicity of the ascendant, as well as the lords of the 4th, 7th, and 10th houses. When the image is made, bury it in the middle of the city, and you will see miracles. An image to hinder buildings so that they are not built. Make 2 images, one in the hour of the sun with Leo rising, and the other in the hour of the moon with Cancer rising, when the moon is waxing, safe from the malefics, and swift in course. When they are made, bury them in the hour of Venus, and they will hinder buildings. An image for the escape of those held in prison. Make an image in the likeness of the one whom you wish to be released in the hour of the moon, when she is waning, swift in motion, and separated from the malefics. Bury the image near the prison when the ascendant is placed as the 10th house of the city where the prisoner is held. An image for the destruction of an enemy. Make 2 images, the first in the hour of the sun, with Leo rising and the moon cadent from the ascendant. Make the second in the hour of Mars, with Cancer rising and Mars cadent from the moon, and fashion them in the form of one striking another. Bury them in the hour of Mars, with the first face of Aries rising. When you have done this, you will be able to act against your enemy as you wish. An image to chase any man from his place. Make an image with a tortuous sign ascending, and with the lord of the ascendant cadent from the ascendant, 4th, 7th, or 10th house, and the moon similarly cadent. Bury the image at a crossroad under the Via Combusta, and make the face of the image look away from his place, and you will see miracles. An image to separate 2 friends from each other. Make an image under the ascendant of whichever friend you wish, putting a strong malefic in the ascendant and 10th house. Make unfortunate the lords of the ascendant and 10th house, and have a malefic aspect them with a square or opposition. Ensure the benefics are cadent from the ascendant and the 10th house and their lords. Make the other image in the same way as described above. Bury it in the place of the other image when a fixed and malefic sign, and the cauda draconis, or another malefic rises. When this is done, they will hate each other and never love each other. An image for the anger of the king to fall on whomever you wish. Make 2 images according to the principles of talismans already set forth. Ensure the Lord of the Ascendant is cadent from the Lord of the 10th house, or afflicted by him, and aspecting the Lord of the 4th house by a square or opposition. Bury the image with a fixed and malefic sign rising. When this is done, the king will hate the person. An image to catch many fish. Make an image in the form of the fish that are in that particular river, with Jupiter rising in Pisces in the hour of Venus. Make it this way. First, create the head and body, then the tail, and join them together at the aforesaid hour. Next, make a spike of pure silver, place the image on the head of the spike, and prepare a jug or vase of lead with a narrow mouth. In the middle of the jug, place the spike standing straight up with the image of the fish at the top. Fill the vase with water and seal the mouth with wax so no water leaks out. All the fish will congregate there. An image to catch fish. Al-Hakim says in his book that he tried this and found it true. He says to make an image in the form of a fish and cast it with the second face of Pisces rising, the moon and Mercury rising, and make it in the hour of the moon. When this image is made, throw it in the river where you wish to catch fish, and you will see miracles as many fish gather in this place. An image to chase away scorpions. Make an image of a scorpion in very pure gold, in the hour of the sun, with the moon in the ascendant, 4th, 7th, or 10th house, in Taurus, Aquarius, or Leo, though Leo is best as it is more contrary to a scorpion. Let the sun be in Leo, and Saturn retrograde. First create the tail, then the feet, then the claws, and last the head. Reverse the positions of the claws and feet. Place the left claw in the position of the right claw, and vice versa, and do the same with the feet. Place the head in its proper position, but make the tail sting itself. When the image is made in this way, bury it in a stone with a hole in it, preferably of metallic ore. Then bury the stone in an important part of the city, and scorpions will flee from this area for a distance of 45 miles. An image to heal the sting of a scorpion. Make the image of a scorpion in a bezoar in the hour of the moon, with the moon in the second face of Scorpio, and Leo, Taurus, or Aquarius rising. Fasten the stone in a gold ring and stamp the image into soft incense under the constellation previously described. Give the person who was stung a drink made from the incense stamped with the seal. They will be cured at once, and their pain relieved. One who always used the aforesaid methods and all these sciences, originating from the land of the black people, found that he could write a single name on a brass tablet and carry it with him. Whenever someone was stung by a scorpion, he bathed the tablet in water and gave the water to the person to drink. The person was immediately healed and relieved of pain. He also claimed that if he did not have the brass tablet, he would write the name on a glass saucer with chalk, saffron, or another material that could be ingested. He would bathe it in water and give it to the sick person, who would recover at once. If it were not for the fear of going on at too much length, I could relate other marvels that he performed with this name. The number of people he helped with it was so great that I cannot recount them briefly. Since I myself witnessed experiments done with this name, I will forbear to include more about it in this book and chapter. This is the name, Zare Zare Ram Zare Zare 6, Fegem Bohorim Borai Nesvis Albune Fedraza, Afetikautututa Tanin Zabahat Ilatotrishan, Haurane Rahanian Latamin Q Akateri, Nimiere Quibari Yahui Hanuyim, Latritin Hamtaweri Vuerin Katuhe, Kahuene Tsenhebene. The aforesaid name must be written in 7 lines precisely, neither more nor less, with the seal of Solomon at the end of the 7th line. It is said also that this should be written on the first Thursday in May, or that it should be written on the first Thursday of any month you wish, and I have seen it written on whatever day was convenient. Beware that you do not make a mistake in these names, neither in their form nor in their figure, that you not fall into error. The name that is written here, Bohorim, I have seen the wise write Nohorim, that is with an initial N, but I myself recollect it beginning with B, as I have said above. I say this to you so that the secret of this science may be revealed to you. This name may also be written another way, that is, Char Zararam Zarefegem Bohorim Babarain, Nense Albima Fedrata Ofetia Travuta, Tanin Tribabat Ilatrasin, Haurauk Rahauna Ein Latumian, Kin Adateri Miniere Quibari, Yahaibari, Yimlateoin Hanateneri, Veverin Kahwinen Theon Hebenetit Dalo. The foregoing name is written in another book as follows. Kare zare region borum vabari nefx albuna federata efoshie tuka canon kahabat ilatrasin. Haurahanya ain lataminikin akateri nequibari. Yehe cani yemlatrasin hamtabari varierin canina tenotha bane. An image for men to be loved by their wives. Make the image of a girl in a cold and dry metal, and make it when Mercury is rising in Virgo and increasing in the circle, or when it is the al-Mutan figuris, and do this work in the hour of Mercury. Set it aside until the time when the image is completed. Make another image in the form of a youth, and make it when Mercury is in Virgo, having returned to the place where you made the first image, or in Gemini, and beware of a diversity of ascendants. That is, when Mercury is in Virgo, do not have Gemini rising, and when Mercury is in Gemini, do not have Virgo rising. Whichever you have rising, place Mercury there. When the two images have been made in this way, attach them to each other as though embracing, and place the hands of each one around the sides of the other. Do all this work in the hour of Mercury with Virgo or Gemini rising. Make a band around the images using the same metal from which you made them, and bury them someplace in a city with many people. When you have done this, men will embrace their wives, and each will hold the other dear. Similarly, when someone seeks love from another, bury the images in the place where you wish them to be united. An image for the destruction of cities, houses, and the like. Make an image under the ascendant of the city, if it is known, or under the ascendant of a horary question. Make the ascendant in the fourth house unfortunate, as well as the lord of the ascendant, the moon, and the lord of the house of the lord of the moon. Additionally, make the lord of the house of the lord of the ascendant and the 10th house and its lord unfortunate. When the image is made as has been said above, bury it in the middle of the city, and it will be as you wish. An image to make a physician successful. Make on a sheet of tin the image of a man seated on a throne doing the work of a physician. Make another image of a man standing on his feet, holding a urine flask before him and making a judgment on it. Make both of these images with Taurus or Libra rising, Mars rising, and the dragon's head at the midheaven. When you have made them, put the tin plate with the image in the place where you wish people to come, and you will see people drawn miraculously to this place. An image for the growth of harvests and crops. Make the image of a seated man surrounded by harvests, trees, and crops on a silver plate, and make it when Taurus rises, when the moon is in Taurus, and the sun is going towards Saturn. Bury it in the place you wish, and all seeds and crops will grow well and quickly without damage from beasts, birds, storms, or anything else that is a nuisance at harvest time. An image to heal illnesses involving stones. Make the image of a lion on a sheet of the purest gold, holding a stone in its paw as if dancing with it. Make it in the hour of the sun with the first degree of the second face of Leo rising. Whoever carries this image will be free from their illness immediately. This has been proven many times. Hermes adds that in making this image, the moon should not be applying to Saturn by sextile, and the sun should not be an aspect to Saturn or should be receding from such an aspect. An image for removing illness, melancholy, and spells. If you wish to remove mechanical infirmities, strengthen health, and return evil spells to their makers, make an image in the purest silver in the hour of Venus, when the moon is in the ascendant, 4th, 7th, or 10th houses and aspecting Venus with a good aspect, and the lord of the 6th house aspecting a benefic by trine or opposition, and the lord of the 8th squaring Mercury. Be sure that Mercury is not retrograde, combust, or aspecting the malefics. Make this image in the final hour of Sunday with the lord of the hour in the 10th or the ascendant. When it is made in this way, the aforesaid infirmities will be removed. You should know that the virtues of images and their power and the effect they have only exist because of the heavenly bodies, and when these images are made according to the motions of heaven, you will not find anything to impede or destroy them. It is necessary to observe when casting images for love and friendship that the moon is fortunate and waxing, and not when the moon is afflicted and waning. Here is an example of this. Make images for love and delight and to visit kings and high lords in the day of the moon, when she is waxing, and in Sagittarius, Taurus, Cancer, or Pisces. And if she is with the dragon's head, it is powerful for workings. and always in a mansion fortunate and appropriate for the work. And when the moon is joined to Venus in the hour of Jupiter, and Jupiter is in Pisces, Sagittarius, and Cancer, and the moon is with him. Make images for evil conversely, that is, when the moon is in a malefic mansion and conjoined to malefic planets, or aspecting them by square or opposition. When you do this, your work will turn out as you wish in all things. Note also that working with images is better done at night than in the daytime in all of the aforesaid. What is necessary in these workings, and cannot be dispensed with, is the union of your whole will and belief in the work, so that the power of your spirit is united with the power of the heavens. Then all things will be accomplished effectively. Plato says in his book of aphorisms that when someone speaks a word with intention and belief concords with it, whoever hears it is moved, and the converse if you wish to do the contrary. This is the root of uniting the will with belief in prayer, and this first of all in asking that which you wish to ask from that Lord to whom you ought to pray. Next, it necessarily is required that the working of these operations be hidden from other people and from the light of the sun, nor should they be done in any place where the sun may enter. And no other person should learn about your workings, unless it be one who is faithful to you and believes in the work, neither a mocker nor a disbeliever in the work and the powers of the spirits of heaven, or in their powers having power in this world, or that the work is done by these spirits. To confirm this, Thabit ibn Qurra says in the book he wrote on images, where he says that the science of images is the nobler part of astrology. Further on, he says that a body that lacks life is deficient in spirit. He says this concerning images that are not made in a proper and opportune time are therefore not apt to receive the spirits of the planets, and therefore are similar to dead bodies in which the spirit is absent. When they are made in a proper and opportune time as they ought, they receive spirits and infused powers from the planets, and are similar to living bodies, from which follow miraculous effects. Aristotle says in his book of images that those who have images proceeding from the 7 planets are better and higher, and when fortune smiles upon them, it is more durable. He means to say this about attracting heavenly spirits and virtues to earth. He also says concerning the names of spirits that, when anyone invokes them and wishes to draw down the corresponding spirits, that the latter descend with all their might in their hour, and they kill the one who invoked them, unless he is well trained and knowledgeable of the names of those spirits and the planets corresponding to their works, from which they have been drawn, and which conveys them to the world of matter. This is what is said by some of those who work with the mighty names, who say that the virtues of them change according to the nature of the things proper to them and accomplish miracles in the world. The greater part of those who work with the aforesaid names disagree with this. I have made a single book of these names and how we ought to understand them, and revealed this in the exposition of all of them. I wish to return to the words of Aristotle, in the place where he says of magical words that they cannot pass beyond the circle of the heavens, nor is anything like them held to be able to command spirits, for words do not have such a power except by the command of God, the glorious and exalted, who moves the spirits about by his command and sends them even to the center of the earth. Thus says Aristotle. All the wise who have spoken of this science agree that in working with magical images, words and prayers help in combination with substances and actions. The sage Thoth says, words and images are as the spirit in a body, moving spirits and powers towards such a work, insofar as the words of the magus are joined with his will and certitude, because out of these latter factors is made noble that which completes the images and the words we say. Those that are here described are those who speak words corresponding to the works that are considered in our volumes. For example, if you wish to work with an image for love and unity, speak in this way. Let this man in be joined to this woman in, as fire and air and water and earth are joined, and let his spirit be moved toward hers as the rays of the sun move the light of the world and its virtues, and let her and her actions be made in his sight, like the heaven with the stars that compose it, or trees with their flowers. Let the spirit of each be raised up and subtilized by the spirit of the other as the waters flow over the earth, and let each of the aforesaid be unable to eat or drink, or dance, or take pleasure in anything without the other. Alternatively, let N be joined to N and conjoined with her, as fire, air, and water with earth, and let him so be moved toward her, as the rays of the sun move the light of earth and its virtues. And let they and their works be coupled together in their vision, as heaven is conjoined with its stars, and trees with their flowers. Let his spirit be thus raised on high and sublime above the spirit of N, as the water is raised up over the earth, and as N, and so forth. If you perform a ceremony to separate one person from another, or to place enmity between them, say this: I divide and tear apart this person from this person by the virtues of these spirits and planets, as the light is divided from the darkness, and thereafter let enmity and ill will enter between these two, just as fire and water are inimical to each other. If you wish to join someone with some woman, or with many others, say this: let the will of such and such a woman, if you do this for one woman, or all of these, if you do it for all of them, be bound and take possession of this work by the strength and power of the spirits and planets, as the masses and veins of the mountains bind together the stones thereof. If you wish to dissolve this binding for someone, say this: let the binding of the will of such and such a man, which has been bound and constrained to such and such a woman, be unbound and dissolved and destroyed by the virtue of the spirits and planets, as wax is melted by the fire, and as the sun destroys the shadows and their spirits, and as the snow is consumed by the heat of the sun. If you wish to prevent people from speaking ill of you or of anyone else you wish, say this: I cover this person with a cover of shining light, and I cut off the tongues of people from him, and I cover their eyes with a spiritual cover, drawing from them all evil enchantments, and I cut off their tongues and their evil wills. Beyond this, if you wish to have people speak ill of someone and hate him, say this: let this person be broken up and destroyed by the virtue and power of these spirits and planets, as the rays of the sun break up and destroy the thickness and density of clouds, and let their spirits be affixed to the tongues of wicked men, so that they will wound him as arrows and catapult stones wound the body. Be careful that when you do any of the aforesaid workings, you do not make any mistake in any of the aforementioned that is not in keeping with the working that you do. Rather, say things that will strengthen your work and fill it out. Keep the teachings of this chapter well and diligently, because they are of great advantage and usefulness in the image workings you do. Proceeding and continuing as said here, you will be able to compose all the images in the world. For those things out of which images are constructed ought to be similar and proportionate to the nature of that for which the image is composed, whether for good or for evil. I intend also to explain hereafter those things belonging to every planet you like, among the metals, animals, trees, colors, and other things, and in what ways they agree and conjoin with images, in the chapter on the workings of the spirits of the planets.